Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another feeding frenzy for the Master Key System. We're on part 2, number 16.
The subconscious mind draws just and accurate inferences from premises furnished from outside sources. Where the premise is true, the subconscious mind reaches a faultless conclusion. But where the premise or suggestion is in error, the whole structure falls. The subconscious mind does not engage in the process of proving. It relies upon the conscious mind.
Makes sense.
The watchman at the gate, so to guard it from mistaken impressions. What does that say to you?
Well, it's just like a computer. What you put in is what you get out.
All right,
garbage in, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. And the same goes with our subconscious mind. The subconscious is not in the business of judging whether this is right or wrong. It just acts on what it knows.
It trusts the conscious.
Whatever it knows has to be true for it, because that's what it knows. So, like as a small child, if you teach a small child this is love, and they learn that later on that this wasn't love, that was false, well, they've been acting on information that was wrong all along, but their subconscious didn't know that.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? The subconscious acts on the information it has, but it doesn't hold any judgment in it.
Right. And it can't discern whether it's good or bad.
Right.
So, if you
need
believe
the information,
false
the five
truth,
senses, you need the choice and the intellect in order to make those decisions.
Right.
Make those judgments.
Right. So if we believe a lie, then that's going to get stored in our subconscious, and we're going to act as if that lie were true.
Right. Right.
So I could have the false belief that, I'm trying to think of a good example, that snakes are bad, and then I could act on that for the rest of my life. When maybe they're not so bad, I don't know. They still seem bad to me.
I don't think you're believing that one yet. I think it was a really
bad example.
You know, I do think you want that to not be true, though.
I just don't
because
think
you keep bringing that one up.
That's because that's my only real fear that I can think of.
Really?
I used to be afraid of storms, but I got over that.
Yeah.
And so that's when people say, "What are you afraid of?" That's the first thing comes to my mind.
If you draw a snake in this house, I'm really going to have a problem.
I'm not drawing a snake in here.
I'm really going to have a problem with you.
So you have a little fear there too, do you?
No, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, if you bring one in here, I'm going to jump. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not overly afraid of them anymore. I used to be. But I don't want you drawing one here because you're thinking about it all the time.
Okay, well, let me try for a different example.
So please, try for another example.
Okay,
That's
so let's say, let me just come up with one. Let's say that when you're young, oh my goodness, a guy with a blue hat hurts your feelings. And so your brain at that young age decides that all men with blue hats are bad. You know, and then...
Or will hurt your feelings.
Or will hurt your feelings, right. So then, as you get older, no matter what the guy with the blue hat says to you or does, you've got that in your subconscious that's telling you can't trust this guy. You know? So
until somebody else in a blue hat who behaves differently
makes your conscious mind
look
say,
at it
"Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not all blue-hatted men are bad. Men with blue hats are bad. Maybe just that one."
Maybe we ought to rehearse this before we do this.
No, that'd be too easy. You have to have a challenge.
That was a good example, even though you had a little trouble on the delivery. I'll give you an A for effort.
Okay, the subconscious mind does not engage in the process of proving. So the subconscious mind doesn't say, "Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense." It just says, "Okay, thanks. Come back again," you know. It relies upon the conscious mind, the watchman at the gate, to guard it from mistaken impressions. That makes sense to me. How about you?
Well, it also tells me that we need to be more conscious of what we are putting into our subconscious.
Oh, definitely. I think that's what he's going to get to.
Because, you know, if we don't think of our conscious mind as the gatekeeper for, you know, the data storage system we have, you know, which is our subconscious mind, then we're going to allow in things that are going to hurt us in the future, and we're not going to know it because we're not going to have it in our conscious mind.
Right.
You know
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a hard question.
Okay.
What about just mindlessly watching TV? Is that good or bad? Stuff that's getting into your subconscious.
guess it depends on how you judge that. Oh. That was pretty good. You have to admit.
But
I think we need to be more mindful of it. Literally.
I think we need to be more conscious about what we're letting in there.
Yes.
You know, and not just TV, but internet too. Mm-hmm. We have to be careful what we let come in because garbage in, garbage out. So we have to be careful what we allow in our view or in our surroundings.
So and not all those times I had relatives tell me that MTV was going to rot my brain, they were right. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, not if your conscious mind was saying, "Well, wait a minute, this is not real. This is not right. This is not good for me."
Right.
You know, it's not that you need to stay away from that stuff. You just need to filter it through your conscious mind and make that decision for you. Is this good for me or bad for me? Is this something I want to believe? Is this something I want in my being? You know, to act on later.
Right.
So I think it just matters what you want or what's right for you. But I think the most important part is to be conscious and not just blindlessly walk through life letting anything in, believing anything you hear. You know. All right. Good stuff.
Well, that's good stuff.
Shreen.